Alright, Lantis, so let's finally talk about the 10th anniversary for Bleach Brave Souls. This was an anniversary that, keep in mind, was hyped up for many months, if not even a year ahead of time, because during our 9th anniversary livestream, we had a whole roadmap leading to the 10th anniversary. 6 months later, during our end of year Bankai Live, we also had the logo revealed, and then throughout the year 2025, as we built up our way to July 23rd, we were getting little campaigns here and there, building anticipation for what was supposed to be the biggest celebration in Brave Souls history. And what we ended up getting was a normal anniversary filled with a lot of controversies. But why exactly was that? Well, let's go into detail. So when it comes to any anniversary, there are 3 categories that I think you want to nail to make an overall good celebration. We have the characters, we have the freebies, and we have the content. And this year, just to quickly recap it, the characters were great. There were a few things that could have been better, which we will talk about. The freebies were okay, and then the content was bad. Overall, I would give this anniversary like a 4 out of 10. And a lot of the carrying here in the points are regarding the characters. So let's go over the characters. So this year, I would say our lineup was actually very strong. We got 4 anniversary banners this year. We had the pre-anniversary with Byakuya and also Aizen. We had part 1 with Ichigo and Rukia. Part 2 with Renji, Oryu, and also Jushiro. And then part 4 with Kubo, Playable Art, Swimsuit Nelio, and also Rangiku. When it comes to the pre-anniversary banner, I really liked the idea of it. Following up from the 9th anniversary, where the pre-anniversary kind of serves as a way to give us a past anniversary character, during the 9th anniversary, we got a playable Mugetsu, a remake of his 4th anniversary version, and then this year, we got remakes of 2 very popular anniversary characters, that being 6th anniversary Aizen and also 5th anniversary Byakuya. I honestly feel like the character choice here was perfect. I thought the characters themselves were very strong, in ways also rival the new 10th anniversary characters, and also most importantly had some really fun gameplay, especially Aizen. It only took Caleb 9 years to nail the pre-anniversary banner. That was never really a thing until last year, but again, I do want to see this trend continue going into future anniversaries where past anniversary characters get remade, and then the filler pool maybe gives you an opportunity to get past anniversary characters that aren't always widely available. With that said though, unfortunately, the banner did fail in meeting the expectation because it was a very bad step-up format. Last year, during the 9th anniversary, you were guaranteed a character of your choice in just 10 steps. This year, we didn't even get a good step-up format. Instead, we had the worst step-up format known to man, the forbidden 6-step format, where you're guaranteed 1 5-star character. So this ultimately ruined a lot of hype this banner would have had because people wanted to spend orbs. But after 8 years of Brave Souls, we all know that spending orbs on a banner like this, where you only have 1 guarantee and no discount after step 6, just isn't worth your orbs, especially so close to an anniversary. So there was one thing I would have changed regarding the pre-anniversary, which just made the step-up format a lot better, if not guaranteed one of the characters on step 10. And I feel like this would have been more beneficial for K-Live because I know a lot of people just didn't go past step 6. Me personally as well. This was a time in a way for K-Live to get people to spend orbs so they don't have many orbs during the anniversary, and it didn't really work out that way. Most people ended up having more orbs for the anniversary because a banner like this, again, just wasn't really worth going deep onto. When it comes to the actual 10th anniversary though, part 1, the main headline banner, I think they nailed it. The big one going into this anniversary, especially after last year. Last year's 9th anniversary celebration was actually pretty good, but the drama surrounding that anniversary was regarding the character choice. People didn't like the characters Caleb chose as anniversary headliners, and they didn't like that it was just another canon anniversary. The popular opinion at the time is that it just felt like a normal banner, a normal 1000-year Blood War banner. And while I somewhat disagree with it, I do see where they're coming from. So going into the 10th anniversary, the big one was original characters returning, new original designs, and also most importantly, something that the community has been craving for many years, an anniversary Rukia. And we got exactly that. I thought the 10th anniversary character designs were actually very good. It's some of my favorite original designs in the game, and it's also setting up to be something very similar to 3rd and 5th anniversary, where this is the start of a new series, in this case the Soul Ascension units. There are signs in-game that we are going to get more characters like this, so for those that are fans of original design characters, it seems like more is on the way. Disregarding the designs though, both Rukia and also Ichigo are very solid. They introduced a new mechanic, that being the new EX skills, which seems to be the norm going forward for every new character. And the step up format was also really good. You were guaranteed one of the characters on step 25. It was a normal Zenith summons, but that in of itself isn't a bad thing. And it also, for the first time ever, on a non-1000 year Blood War banner, featured 1000 year Blood War fillers. Part 1 was by far one of our best anniversary Part 1 banners of all time. And for those that had the extra orbs, given that most people skipped the pre-anniversary, if you did go all the way to step 50, you were also guaranteed an extra rainbow special move source. It's not something that I personally did, but, you know, extra value on step 50 is actually pretty decent. So I would say part 1 of the anniversary was actually fairly solid character choice-wise. I don't think anyone really has any complaints regarding what kit I did with the banner and also character choicing. When it comes to part 2, we were in a very fortunate situation where it has officially been 6 months since Season 3 of 1000 Year Blood War ended. So what that did mean is that it was finally time for Season 3 of Blood War characters, and I think they chose the best characters here, kickstarting Season 3 characters in Brave Souls with a very core original fight, Renji vs Uryu. The previous Renji was kind of done dirty, being made a Brave Battle character, so the hope going into his new character from Season 3 was that he would be a very powerful character, and he was exactly that. Right now, personally, throughout this entire anniversary, Renji is one of my favorite characters. I'm very happy to have him, and I'm glad he was celebrated during the 10th anniversary, especially as he is one of the main characters. Uryu was turned into a Brave Battle character. That was probably one of the more controversial choices during this anniversary, just because it was his first time playable in his Volstan ditch, although many people are accepting of it, given the fact he's likely going to get a new character in the future, as this version of Uryu was specifically from the fight with Renji. There's still another Uryu that fights Ichigo in the same season. Jushiro was also a welcomed addition. A lot of people were excited for him, especially as this is pretty much his last opportunity to be given an actual good canon character, especially one from the 1000 Year Blood War arc, because this moment of the character is really important to the Bleach story. Although personally, if I can be a little bit biased here, I would have preferred if Uryu was the playable SP character of the banner alongside Renji, and then that third character didn't need to be Jushiro. Instead, it could have been someone like Chad, for example. That way, it could just be actual main characters, and Jushiro, as cool as he is, I don't dislike that he got a playable, strong SP character. I just don't think that needed to happen during an anniversary. I would have preferred if Uryu's first Volstan dish form was the SP character instead of it being his potential second character. But other than that, I think it was a strong part 2. Again, did fix the problem that we had during the 9th anniversary where the character choicing wasn't that exciting. Although with that said, I do think the filler pool for part 2 could have been better, as part 1 kind of set a higher expectation. Part 2 had a lot of old fillers, and easily could have been switched out for some newer characters that could have easily been fillers instead. When it comes to our 4th anniversary banner, this was for the mid-month of August. This introduced a new type of banner featuring characters that Kubo himself has drawn. Right now, when it comes to Brave Soul, the only characters we can get are original seasonals, 1000 Year Blood War, or just canon characters in general. As long as they're animated, they have a chance to be playable in Brave Souls. So this new type of banner opens the possibility for different types of characters that otherwise never would have been possible. Again, right now regarding the Kubo playable art series, a lot of people are hoping that the high school warfare characters can be turned into playable units. So the idea itself is actually really exciting, it's really cool, although I don't think they chose the best possible characters here because we already received 2 swimsuit banners this year. We had the one banner in June, we had the upcoming most recent banner with Burn the Witch, that was leaked so we knew that was going to happen. So kickstarting this collab with more swimsuit characters, even though it was Kubo's playable art, didn't feel as special as it potentially could have been. So I like the idea of it, I just don't think this was the best character choicing. Also, why I personally do like Kubo's art being the actual character art, I know that was quite controversial, not many people did like it. Also, in a way, very similar to the pre-anniversary, the standard for mid-month banners is that you are guaranteed a character of your choice on step 10. That was also not seen here whatsoever. Instead, the pity, where you are guaranteed one of the characters, was on step 20. So in regards to the 2 mid-month banners that we did receive during the anniversary, I feel like they should have just been guaranteed on step 10, at least one of the 2. Maybe not guaranteed a selector, but they are mid-month, and mid-month should be crown step-ups, end of month should continue being Zenith summons. So like I said, overall, I thought the character choicing this year was strong. We had some few mishaps here, more so with the mid-month banners formats. But if you started during the anniversary and pulled on part 1 and 2, you likely walked with a lot of good characters and overall major accounts better. And it features some really cool characters. We got what we wanted, an original part 1, canon part 2, and some extra good things along the way. Now let's go into the freebies section. So this year's freebies definitely could have been a lot better. They haven't been absolutely terrible, but there was also controversies filled within all these freebies. So the first thing to talk about is the photo prints. The photo print itself started early this year, where it started off very strong, where you were guaranteed a new character of your choice, including 1000 Year Blood War seasonal characters with Shinji, Ryuka, and also Momo. Aaroniero. This was a really cool thing and was the first time ever where you pretty much were able to skip a banner and get a guaranteed good character for free without even spending any orbs. It was a great way to celebrate the 10th anniversary without the anniversary even starting, because this happened in like March. The following months we would get future rounds, round 2 and 3, and while the pool itself wasn't great, it was still a good selection of characters, letting you pick some old units. If you were missing any of the characters, you were guaranteed extra orbs, and all you had to do was log into the game. It was an overall really good idea. It was a great way to treat the players that were playing before the anniversary officially started, and then going into the 4th round, expectations in a way were higher, because we kind of had a feeling the 4th round would be the original Brave Souls anniversary characters. And it was exactly that. The login bonus showed all the anniversary original units, also alongside the 10th anniversary characters, Ichigo and also Rukia. When this got shown on the livestream, excitement was at an all-time high. Everyone was praising Caleb for potentially allowing us to pick an anniversary character for free, because based on the first 3 rounds, if you're present on this particular screen, you are allowed to be picked. Unfortunately though, when it was announced in game, anniversary, Rukia and Ichigo were excluded, purposely so too. So what should have been a really cool addition to the anniversary ended on a massive sour note. They showed us with round 1 they can be super generous, and it should have ended with a bang. After all, this was the 10th anniversary, and I think round 4 in particular of the photo print caused more harm than good. What should have been a really cool celebration, a really good freebie, ended up in disappointment and a lot of controversy. It actually would have been a lot more beneficial for the community had round 4 of the photo print not even happened, truth be told. And it sucks too, because again, it started off really good, so much so if that you were a new player during the anniversary that just started, you didn't get to see the good generosity that we received earlier that year. And that's also a big problem that we are seeing with this anniversary, because one of the new additions that we are getting here is the 10th anniversary special exchange shop. A really cool idea, I will admit. For playing the game during event orders, you're able to attain medals throughout the entire month and pick up some really good items. You're able to get new accessories specifically for the new characters that also offer a pretty good buff in terms of strong attack damage and also normal attack damage. You're able to get some 6-star tickets, one being a random premium, while the second one is a selector ticket. And then you're also able to guarantee yourself 5-star accessories, some essence scrolls, quintessence scrolls, editing brushes, etc. And in a way, the great part about this is that we do get a new shop every 2 weeks, where the second shop of the month lets you pick a premium character and then a random seasonal character. And this exchange shop is going to be lasting throughout the entire year, starting from July all the way till December. So ultimately, through this particular exchange shop, we're going to get a lot of really good items, and in total around 26-star summon tickets. And in a way, this has also been a problem during the anniversary, is that instead of having a month-long celebration where all the freebies and all the great things are targeted into 1 month, instead it's been spread across an entire year. Like I said, if you were a new player that only played Brave Souls for the month of July and also August, you only got a few small things, nothing really noteworthy. If all these items that we were getting throughout the entire year was focused into that 1 month of July and August, we would have got in total 26-star summon tickets, 10 of those being selectors. We would have had the 4 photo prints. We would have got a bunch of essence scrolls, quintessence scrolls, unique accessories, and many more other good items. So I think one of the problems with the 10th anniversary in regards to the freebies is that of the good things that we did receive is that they were spread throughout the entire year. If they were all just focused in the month of July and August, that would have been a jam-packed month of good freebies. And in a way, that's why there was more disappointment around 4 of the photo print, because if you played during the anniversary, there was no extravagant free rewards. And that's what photo print round 4 should have and could have offered. Again, I really do believe if these freebies that we got throughout the entire year were just given in the month of July and August, 26-star summon tickets, 10 selectors, photo print round 4 giving us an anniversary character, Rukia or Ichigo, it would have easily been a very exciting time. But instead, we had to spread it out throughout an entire year. So if you played only during the month of July and August, you didn't get to see any of the generosity in a way that the 10th anniversary potentially could have brought. And that's in regards to the things that are happening during the anniversary. There definitely could have been some better things along the way. So for example, one of the cool things during the 9th anniversary that I was very surprised to not see return was the free summons that actually featured 1000-year Bloodwood characters. We had a Brave Battle selection, a Link Slot selection, Epic Raid selection, etc. And it featured free Bloodwood characters. I think that would have been a great addition, just to maybe give free multis every single day instead of getting the usual premium and season multis that we pretty much got throughout the entire year on a consistent basis. I thought that was a really strong point during the 9th anniversary, and I was very surprised to not see it during the 10th anniversary. Alongside that, with round 2 of the 10th anniversary being a 1000 Blood War banner, why did we not get a free Blood War character? It's just weird. I don't know why they didn't do it. Also, again, continuing on with the things they could have done regarding freebies. During the anime celebration, one of the cool things they did last year was a guaranteed choose a 6-star with Blood War characters. Why did we not get that again? Again, this is the 10th anniversary. It's the best time to be super generous. And we really should have been showered in a bunch of just free stuff for playing the game. And again, that's right now the biggest problem with the freebie selection. It was spread throughout the entire year. And also, again, we just didn't get a lot of free summons or free selections with actual rare limited characters like 1000 Blood War, which could have made the celebration a whole lot better. So that's what I mean when I say the freebies were okay-ishly good. I just don't like how they were spread throughout the entire year, especially the ones that didn't happen during the anniversary, which unironically were some of the better ones. And I also would have just loved if round 4 the photo print actually featured a 10th anniversary unit, because that way we at least could have had an extravagant freebie during the actual start of the anniversary. And I think it's also worth mentioning too, again, there was a lot of backlash regarding round 4 the photo print, and that would have been a good opportunity for Kayla to show some good faith. Even if they didn't initially plan to give us a free anniversary character, the massive negative response round 4 brought into the game would have been a great way for Killer to say, you know what, let's actually do it. Let's just make the player base happy. And unfortunately, they didn't do that. But now let's talk about the third section of any anniversary, the content. And this is probably the most lackluster part of an anniversary. I don't think there was any controversy when compared to the freebies, because they definitely messed up big time regarding some of those. But the content was just kind of lacking this year. I think the only unique thing that we did get this year was an extra Limit Breaker quest that happened when part 1 of the anniversary did release. I thought that was quite cool, getting 2 Limit Breakers in the course of essentially a week. I would love for Limit Breaker to be an event that happens every 2 weeks, if anything. Because I do find Limit Breaker as a game mode to be quite fun. And as of right now, it's pretty much just a one and done every single month. So I thought that was a nice addition to have during the start of the actual anniversary. But other than that, it was pretty much just a normal event. We had our usual co-op event. Fortunately, it did feature a new 5-star Technicon, so we did get extra orbs from this event, and they also improved the rewards, adding a bunch of extra items to the lottery system. Would have just loved if Essence Scrolls were included in here, because I would have farmed it a lot more. But that was pretty much it, unfortunately. A lot more things did come in the later half of August. We did get 2 new Senkamon quests, we did get the new co-op quest, but those weren't really anniversary themed. Those weren't for the anniversary in particular, so I would have loved if they got moved earlier into the month. And I think, if anything, the biggest disappointment that we did see this year was the lack of a 10th anniversary Senkamon quest. Now, truth be told, if this was the 9th anniversary, I wouldn't have cared that much about a lack of an anniversary tower, because they were never really anything special. For the most part, they were just a reskinned Senkamon tower with 5 new stages at the end. However, the 9th anniversary showed us in particular that they can make some fun Senkamon quests. 9th anniversary had access to 4 different tiers, each with 10 individual stages. The rewards were pretty much the same, so there wasn't really anything beneficial, but gameplay-wise, it was a whole lot of fun. Each stage was unique, they had different gimmicks, and it was something that you didn't experience from Senkamon ever. I thought it was a whole lot of fun, and I would have loved to have seen that at least return during the anniversary, or something similar for the 10th anniversary. So I think that was a big miss not having that during the actual anniversary date. I understand we are now in a new Senkamon system, which I also thought was good, but they are showing that eventually, in certain occasions, we will go back to the old Senkamon system to obtain the old Senkamon medals. That was announced to us, and now the question is, when are you going to do that, if not during a 10th anniversary? So this year's content-wise was definitely lacking. And in all honesty, a 10th anniversary Senkamon could have fixed that, or if anything, at least a new game mode, which I would have loved to have seen. And that's why overall I would give the anniversary a 4 out of 10. The freebies were okay, content bad, characters though were also good, but again, not really perfect. So with that in mind, how exactly would I actually change the anniversary? Like I said, character-wise, I would have preferred if Uryu was a playable SP unit, and then Jushiro could have been exchanged for another character for Brave Battles. The pre-anniversary and also Kubo playable art characters, I would have loved if they were guaranteed on step 10. The freebies that we did get, I would have loved to have seen just in the month of July and August, not spread throughout the entire year, and photo print round 4 should have been guaranteed Ichigo or Rukia. And then on the content side, there was definitely a lot more they could have done here. For example, the Esno Epic Raid should have been available during July and also August, not after. And we also should have gotten a special exchange shop that usually does happen leading up to the anniversary, where you're able to get any past familiar. That way, if you were new playing during supposedly a big time during the game, you're able to get all past familiars for those that do want to collect them, or at least get the important ones, that being Toshiro and also Kenpachi. I would like to have seen Brawl Quest return just for those new players that definitely needed it. Some small extra little things too I would have loved to have seen, for example, the Cons Quiz event, where you're able to get Con Familiars. We haven't had those since the 6th anniversary, and I get they're supposed to be anniversary exclusive for those that played during that time, but I see no harm in returning it. That would have been exciting because a lot of players are missing those Con Familiars. The Burn the Witch Cinderella familiar returned a few times. Would have loved to have seen the Cons return too. This would have been a great event to have during the pre-anniversary, in my opinion. One good thing that I think is worth mentioning that we did see during part 1 of the anniversary is that the daily orders were doubled, where you were able to get 10 orbs a day and some extra items. I feel like that should have been a permanent addition, not just for the first week of the anniversary. Again, would have loved to have seen a 10th anniversary Senkaman quest. And at least all the events that we did get over the last 2 weeks should have been moved again early into the anniversary Path to Unity, the Aranka Senkaman quest, and also No Affiliation Senkaman quest. Also, this one might be a nitpick, but I think it's maybe worth mentioning. I would have loved to have seen Epic Ichigo and 6th Anniversary Aizen get resurrected during this occasion. Not every anniversary in the past has brought us anniversary resurrections, and it's not like the resurrections we have been getting over the last month or two have been bad. They've actually been better than normal. Not because of the anniversary, but they have finally gotten a lot better. But just overall, to add more hype to the game, it would have been really cool to see 6th Anniversary Aizen resurrected, especially with the buffs that we are seeing right now for some of the currently existing characters that are being resurrected. That will eventually happen in the future, so it's not a big deal, but again, it just would have been more hype during the 10th anniversary to see Aizen and Arbok get resurrected. So there's definitely a lot more they could have done, and that's why, in my opinion, this anniversary was kind of disappointing. And that's only regarding the celebration as a whole. Obviously, right now, we do have some other controversial stuff going on that isn't related to the anniversary, and we already spoke about it in the past, and probably will continue speaking about it, regarding the whole Guild Quest buffing situation, where the difficulty has gotten a lot more harder, but the rewards aren't getting better. Instead of adding a new difficulty, they're just making currently existing content harder, and that's also been a big problem right now. There was also a lot of just weird small changes that I just don't understand them making. The weekly event orders have now removed soul tickets. The Ururu and Jinta quest that we really only play for the soul tickets have now removed the soul tickets. It's just weird. And there's been a lot of backlash regarding these stuff, and we kind of haven't heard anything from KLab. Normally, whenever the community does come together regarding some problems that the game is currently facing, KLab usually respond in a decent time. And even if they do give us a response that we don't want to actually see, maybe them doubling down, for example, that would be better than what they are doing right now, where it's kind of just been radio silence. So not only was the anniversary just not the best as it could have been, there's also some problems that we're currently going through right now with all this power creep and, hidden difficulty increases that we are seeing. But I don't want to end the video on a sour note, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Caleb just needs to respond to the community's backlash that we have seen over the last month, and the criticism that has been held, like from my video and obviously many other community members, what we are seeing on Discord, Reddit, Twitter, etc. Hopefully Caleb can respond to that, because again, technically, the anniversary is not ending. So they definitely can make up for it in the second half of the year by taking the criticism that we are seeing during the anniversary, reflect upon that, improve upon it. And we are also getting a Brave Souls offline event in Japan, the Brave Souls Festival, which again, I might potentially be going to with a few of my friends. And the news that we do get in there, I would like to hope there's some big news planned to be announced there, because it is a big deal. Again, they've been doing a lot of in real life events in Japan. Unironically, maybe there's been more stuff to do regarding Brave Souls in Japan outside of the game than inside of the game. So we'll see what the Brave Souls Festival is going to bring us. Hopefully, we do get some good news. But, KLab, you need to do better. Hope you lads enjoyed the video. See you lads next time. Take care, and peace.